All right, I'm going to start going over this, and it's going to sound maybe strange, but I'm taping this, but I'm not going to put the tape out there on the system. And the reason I'm not going to do that is if next year I wanted to give this same worksheet, all right, I don't want to have the answers out there already. Okay? So this was it. Please use the latest version, so the one with the 3 tables. Make sure you add the auto increment for each one. For each problem, show and then actually execute the complete MySQL command used. When requested, show the number of records or the value returned, and put the answers on this page. All right. So I'm just going to literally do them in order, just so you see them. So the first question was, show the command to add a new field called salary to the employees table. The field should be of type decimal, a max value of $999,999.99. The default would be 1,000 and allow for nulls. I'm going to put this over 2 lines just so you can see all of it, and I'll take all the answers that I'm putting in here and I'm going to put them in bold red. Now, if you say, well, I didn't have even an idea how to even start this, well, you're altering the table. One of the things that we talked about was that the data definition language commands, the DDL commands, that one of them was alter. So you'd want to alter the table. What table? You'd want to alter the employees table. And again, I don't care if this is in uppercase, lowercase, it doesn't matter. But it should have been alter table employees. Then we wanted to add a new column. So add column. The name of the column was salary. All right, it was a decimal, 82. Nulls were allowed, and the default was 1,000. That's the whole answer. All right. Most of the time when you do these different things that are in here, like could I have put default 1,000 first, then null? Usually it'll take it like that. All right. So the thing itself is fairly forgiving as far as what it puts in there. All right. All right. Number 2, add the following salaries to the departments table. Well, when we came in here, these were the ones that you were supposed to add. So in other words, you were supposed to do 10 of them. That should make sense to everyone. But you were only asked to show the actual code or the actual command for the first one. All right? So that would have been update employees. Set salary equal to 100,000. Remember, don't put commas in there when you're doing that. It would work whether you put the .00 in or not. Okay? Where ID equals 1001. There are a lot of ways this command could have been done. You could have said update salary, update employee set salary equal to that, where first name equal Jeffrey. Or we could have said, etc. So, but you always should strive when you're doing this to be working with the primary key field. Now I should be guaranteed that I'm only going to be changing one record. All right, that's what I want to do here. So to do the other ones, as you can see, I've got it here, and update employee set salary equal to whatever the salary was, where the ID is equal to that number. All right. All right. Number 3. Add the following new records in. So we were supposed to add Mr. Corrigan and Mr. Knott. All right. It says add both records, but just show the statement used. This could have been done either as 2 insert statements or as just a single insert statement. I did it as a single insert, so that's what I'm going to show you here. Insert into employees, values, and then both of them would have to be in their own set of parens. null, because that's the employee ID. There's the social security number. There's the first name. There's the middle initial. There's the last name. There's the address. There's the zip code. There's the department number. And there's the salary. Now, just for speed's sake, I'm going to take this and copy it, and then just make the changes. Are there any questions? Numbers 1, 2, and 3 that I just went over. Any of those that do not make sense. Again, I could have just done this as one insert statement with a semicolon on the end, then did another insert into employees' values, and then put in this one. There's always a multiple number of ways you can do the same thing. It's no big deal one way or the other. And I told you this before, but I want to make sure you know this. This can get screwed up if you try to go directly from Word into MySQL. Those are smart quotes. They actually have the thing, where, as opposed to if you're inside of here, if I do this, that's a dumb quote. That's not a name for it, but that's just what I'm going to call it. So see the difference between those? That when you do it inside of a regular text editor, it just is a straight tick. But if you put it in there like this, it may or may not work. I'd never, ever, ever recommend copying stuff in from Microsoft Word into any other software package. All right? Maybe if it was into another word processing package, but that would be it. All right, so number 4. Show the command to show the minimum, maximum, and average of the salaries below, and include aliases. Make sure the numbers generated are no more than 2 decimal places, so you had to round those to 2 decimal places. So select round, and then the first one is the minimum salary. And we wanted that to 2 decimal places, as I just called it min salary. And then again, I can come in here and kind of cheat a little bit. Put the max. And do it one more time here, and that would be average. Any questions on that one? What's that?
I did not. I did it differently. I did fast.
You did for what?
For that one?
Yeah.
I did fast.
If you got the right answer, it's not wrong. All right, and again, I've said this to you before, and I'm not trying to be a smart aleck or anything, but typically if you go, if Amin goes to work at his internship and he gets the job done, it may be that if they're considering hiring him full time, that they may say, Amin, why did you do this like this? But most of the time, if he's done it correctly, all right, somebody may look at his code, but especially bosses, supervisors, they've got plenty of other stuff to do. And usually they don't have the expertise anyway. And you can even add over that, they don't give a damn. You got it done, you got it right, good. I don't care how you did it. Again, it's like I've given you that example before. It's like if I said we're all meeting at the St. Louis campus tomorrow. We're not. I wouldn't say, but you have to go take I-70 to get down there. Why would I say that? Bottom line is, if you're all there, you did it. All right? Yes.
I was having trouble with the round command, so then I just left it as select max salary, but it only came up as 2 decimal places anyway.
Then it'd be okay. Yeah. All right. This one should work, though. Let's see if we can paste this in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it first to Notepad. And again, you can see the smart quotes. So now if I grab all of it here and I paste that into PHP MyAdmin, it doesn't like unknown column salary. Oh, you know what? I never said where we're getting it from, did I? From employees. That would probably help. That should be in here too. So that should be this from employees. So that is the complete command. Let's see if that fixed it. And I got a semicolon there for some reason. Okay, so there's the minimum salary, the maximum, and the average. All right. And again, I believe you when you say that you had a problem with it, but that's the syntax. Okay.
I think I just had the syntax wrong.
So this right here is what you're telling it to round, and that's the number of decimal places. All right. Any questions on that one? All right. All right. Number 5. Show the command used to show the department number, minimum, maximum, and averages grouped by department number. Make sure, again, the numbers that are generated are no more than 2 decimal places. Add aliases again and include a roll-up. Well, let's cheat here and let's grab this. And I'll just make some changes to it. All right? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So the first thing that I want to change is I want to add the department number. All right. So that stuff is all correct, but then when we got done, we were supposed to group this by the department number with roll-up. All right, so again, I'm going to grab, why I've got that there, I don't know. It's supposed to be a comma. All right, so let me grab this. Again, let me paste it into here. Let me throw it into here. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. Yeah, I did. So there's no comma there. Why doesn't it like the with roll up? Well, it doesn't like the with roll up here, but if I grab all this and I put it into here, that doesn't have a problem with it at all. All right, so that is the right answer. Again, done by department number. some of these, and hopefully you realize this, some of these are fairly sophisticated queries. You know, I didn't want to give you an assignment where I said, print out everything that's in the departments table. Select star from departments. Print out everything that's in the employees table. Select star from employees. Print out everything that's in the city-state zip table. Select star from city-state zip. That wouldn't have been very impressive for you to put something like that into a worksheet and then put that into your electronic portfolio or your dossier. That just wouldn't have, I don't think, wouldn't have been very impressive. This stuff is showing, so far what we've done is you're able to go in and you're able to insert, you're able to update, because you've done both those, you're able to do select, you're able to do a group by, and you're able to do a roll-up. All right. Any questions on any of numbers 1 through 5? All right. Number 6. Show 2 different commands to display only first name, last name, address, and department numbers, but only for those who are or either in Department 1 or Department 2 or Department 6. So the first way is a real crummy way of doing it, but it works. Now, I'm not putting the aliases in now. I don't think I even asked you to do it on those. So that's the first way that you could have done it. And I guess you're supposed to be doing order by on there too. Oops. So that's the first way that you could have done it. Then I'm just going to copy it because it's not drastically different. So the other way that you could have done it then was to say we're department number in 1, 2, 6. So those were the 2 answers. All right. And again, the recommendation by the people who have written this software package is that you do it this way. This way should give you an answer faster than the way up above it. All right. Either one of them will work. Either one of them should generate the exact same answer. All right. The next one was almost the same question, but it said people who were not, that did not meet that criteria. So I'm just going to grab everything that was in here, and I'm going to come in and paste it in. Yeah, lovely. So this first one would have said where this is not equal to that, and you have to make sure if you just put an or in there, that would have been wrong. That and that. All right. And instead of using the not equal like this, you could have also done this. Either one of those would have been okay. But it's not equal. And this one was just not in. All right? So basically, questions 6 and 7 were the same question. The only difference between the two was the first one had equal or, equal or, equal or, whereas this one has not equal and, not equal and, not equal. All right? And the other one had in 1, 2, 6, and this one has not in 1, 2, 6. Questions on any of these so far, 1 through 7? All right. Let's jump into number 8 then. Add the following 2 records in. Okay, and again, I added them as one command. Oops. So insert into city state zip. It's so small, but it is. Values, and again, null, St. Louis, Missouri, 63113. And this was Chicago, I believe. And Illinois. And 60606. Okay, so that was that one. Hopefully there are no questions on that. Number 9 said, show the command used to create a Cartesian product join between the employee and the city-state zip tables. Again, virtually 100% of the time, you do not want to do that. All right? And if I come through here, then it's just select star from employees, comma, city, state, zip. All right? And you know, or you should know, that the employees table had 12 records in it and the city, state, zip had 6. So if I do go back into here and I paste that in and I run it, all right, it comes back and it tells me 72, 12 times 6. So I was looking for that, 72, and I wrote down typically this would not be a useful query because the information isn't really helpful. Yes.
When I did inner join city state.
If you got 72, there's more than one way this could be done. All right. All right. Number 10. Show 2 types of join commands to display only the first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, and salary in that order. Use aliases for each and every field name, each and every table name, and for good-looking headings. Okay. And I got a little bit anal here, but I tried to line stuff up so it would look nicer. City's in the other one. that was the first one. Let me double check and make sure I didn't put any errors in there. I didn't try to, but just to be sure. Yeah. There's the 12 people, first name, last name, address, city, zip code, and salary. And again, there are a multiple number of ways that this could be done. Everybody hear that? Multiple number of ways. So I'm going to copy this, and I'll put it right underneath it. I'm going to shrink the size down so you can see them both. I know that's pretty small, but hopefully it's big enough. So this would have been from this. Stop it. Stop it. So there's the other one. All I've changed is instead of a where, I've got on. And instead of the from, I've got from followed by the first name followed by join. And I don't think there's a comma there. So they're almost the same query. And that was one of the reasons for doing it like this, because I wanted to show you that typically there's much more similarity when you do these things, all right, as opposed to a lot of differences. All right. Now I'll leave that up there for a second. That's probably the hardest one so far. The next one is the same query, except you needed, after the where clause, you needed an and in there. All right. You needed an and it said, you know, where this and city equals Wentzville or city equal Lake St. Louis. So let me just grab all of this, copy it to the clipboard. Paste it in. I hate that damn numbering. Okay, so that was the next one. And again, there's multiple ways this could be done. All right, I just want you to realize that, and I'm by no means am I saying, well, yeah, you should have done it the way I did it. No, you should have done it the way you did it, whatever that way was. All right. The next one, number 12, was again first name, last name, address, city, state. This one doesn't look like it had state in it, I don't know. Zip, department number, and salary. So it's almost the same one, so I'm going to again copy both of these and just make some superficial changes to them. So again, this is number 12. So the first name, the last name, the address, the city. I guess we needed state in here too. The zip. Now we wanted the department number. Oh, it's the department name, I'm sorry. So this involved joining 3 tables. So the employees, the city, state, zip, and the departments table. All right, and I mentioned this the other day that anytime you are joining 3 tables, you'll need 2 different conditions. So where the zip code is this, and the zip code is this, and I'll leave that one up there for a second. That's a lot of typing. But the other one isn't really going to look very different. So I can just copy this and then just make a couple changes to it. And I'm not that picky. You know, I do them like this so that I'm able to put them on the board for you. But with yours, if you put several on one line, I could care less. Again, what I'm looking for, what I'm going to do with each one of yours is I'm going to have to, and I should have probably said this to you, I know at least 1 or 2 of you save them as text files. That makes it easier for me to run. Otherwise, if you gave me your Word file, which is okay, I've got to go in and manually change those smart quotes back into the dumb quotes. And that's okay, I don't really mind doing it. So again, that was the first one. Let me copy that one into here. All right, so this will be the second one. So what changes? Well, from this, all right, employees E, inner join, city, state, zip C, and that's on the zip equal to zip. Then you'd have another inner join, but this time that's this. no where, but there's an ordered by. So that's the second one. Yeah, and this was designed to make you work. But again, we're using, in this example, we're using a database that was so small, you should have been able to figure them out manually if you needed to do so. All right? The next two are the same exact query. The only difference between the two is with the first one, you say right join employees E or whatever it is. And the second one, or the first one, I guess it's left join employees E. Second one, it's right join. So that's the only difference. I think I'll go through 13, 14, and 15, then we'll take another break. All right? And then we'll come back and finish the last ones. All right? So, number 13 then. Again, 13 and 14 are almost identical to one another. And the idea behind this query, just so you know, is if I take this query and I put it inside of PHP MyAdmin and run it, all right, what doesn't it like? C. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to throw it into here. And I'm going to get an error. last name. Great. Oh, it's because I used a where in there. That should have been an on, not where. All right. The idea was I wanted those nulls to show. Okay, so what I put up here was wrong. That should have been on, not where. Sorry. Okay. Again, there should have been a comma there. So that was the first one. That was for number 13. Number 14 was almost the same query. But here we should have used the employees one first. And that should have been a right join. So I believe that's correct. That's the two of them. Double check and make sure that one works. And it does. Again, we've got our nulls in there. All right. Then number 15, and then we'll take a break. Number 15 was show the command to make a foreign key. I know a couple of you had even contacted me and said, oh, I had trouble with this one. Then you had to go and look it up online. All right. Because it was alter. Let me put the whole thing in here. I'll make it nice and big. Table, employees, add constraint. This you could have called anything. I called it FK for foreign key, employees, depth number, And that's all. So again, what are we altering? We're altering the employees table. What are we doing? We're adding a constraint. This is the name. Probably would have worked even without the ticks, but I'm going to call it FK for foreign key, and it's employees department number. That's why I gave it that name. The foreign key is the department number from the employees table. It is referencing the department number from the departments table. If for some reason, and you never should do this, if you delete the parent record, set everything else in there to null. If you update the parent record, set everything in the child to null. All right? It's 10:10. Let's come back at 10:20 and I'll do the last 10 for you. This was number 16. 16, 17, and 18 were all subqueries, which are a query within a query. They were all basically the same query, except one you ran the average, one you ran the min, and one you ran the max. But they were all done the same way. So remember, you would do this first, select round average salary from employees, all right, and that would give you something, and then you would do this, but the greater than would be replaced by whatever the answer to that was. And like I said, oops, back. 17 is the same query, except instead of a greater than, you have a less than, and instead of average, you've got a max. Other than that, they're the same query. And in fact, so is the next one. So they're all the same query. Number 19, which of course says 18 on here now because it's screwed up. Show the command to add a new field called hire date to the employees table. The field should be a date type with no nulls allowed. That was just alter table employees, add column, hire date, date. That was it. Then in number 20, you were supposed to go and put hire dates in for all the employees. But the only one that you had to actually print out was the last one for Paul Knott. So that would have been update, just a little bigger. Update employees. Set hire date equal to 2016 12/12, where ID equal 1012. That was it. Hopefully people didn't find a lot of problems with that one. All right. Number 21 was write a query that displays each employee's first name, last name, hire date, and the number of days they have been employed. And that was select first name as first name, last name as last name, hire date as hire date. And then you needed to add your own field in here, and that was date diff, and there was more than one way of doing this. The current date, and you want to subtract from that the hire date, as, and I just called it number of days, from employees. So let me grab this. It's not going anywhere. If I grab that and throw that into here, just to be sure that it works. What doesn't it like here? Okay, and run that. That's how many days they've been employed. That's a little bit of a misnomer because that's including weekends, etc. But that's fine. Basically, that's what I was looking for in there. So this was missing a quote right there. Again, if it's easier for you to see it each on its own line. So it was first name, last name, hire date, and the key thing was this. A date diff on the current date minus the hire date. Again, I just called it number of days. You could have called it anything you wanted. As far as doing the same thing, but doing it for the years, I did a round on this date diff, and then what I did was I took the hire date, and I divided it by 365.25. And I said, do that 0. And I just changed that to number years. What's that? Well, because that's accounting for leap years. So that's saying that every fourth year is 366 days instead of 365. All right. It's not perfect. You know, there are better ways that you can do it than this, I'm sure. But for what I was trying to show you, I figure that was plenty good, for lack of better words. And if we take that one and stick it into PHP MyAdmin, what did I miss? I think I'm probably missing a paren. Yep, there should have been 2 at the beginning here. Still doesn't like something. Round. Oh, should have been 2 of them here. Not there. There you go. So that's how many years people have been employed. Well, not, I had in as just being December 12th, so he would have been 0 years technically. right, so let me grab that one. Make sure I'm giving it to you correctly. Yeah, that's beautiful. Give me a break. I don't know how that's all goofed up, but it is. All right. Then the last three, 23, you were supposed to create an insert query and add 2 records into the employees table. 24, you were supposed to update 2 different fields on each of them. And 25, you were supposed to remove them. All right, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Because I'm going to just grab them from the actual key that I had for this. There was the insert. Here's the update. Why does it? And throw in the delete. All right, so this is what I was looking for those, something along these lines. There's inserting the 2 records with a comment on the top, just something simple like that. Inserting 2 records into employees table. All right, and I just set the current date for both. Then in number 24, you were supposed to update. So I updated the first one. I set the hire date to a different value. I set the salary to a different value. For the second one, I reset the social security number and the middle initial. And then for the last one, I just dropped them both. All right. We'll do the same thing, and I'm planning on doing that a week from tomorrow. So the second worksheet is due Monday, and I'll take it till the end of the day. I don't care if it's midnight, just turn it in by then. All right? And then Wednesday, we'll go over it. You will have lab all day Thursday. You will have lab all day Monday. So you should have enough time, even if you haven't done much on it, hopefully, to finish it. Any questions on what I just went over? Anything that you need me to show you again I didn't put up there long enough or whatever? All right, the rest of the period is yours then.